Good afternoon. It is 2 o'clock, and I would like to call to order the August 1st meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the July 18th meeting. The minutes are in your packet. Are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes? A motion and a second. Please vote. And it's passed unanimously. Item 3 is the consent docket. There are 11 items on the consent docket. There are contract awards, there's a final acceptance, a amendment, some easements, and ratification of payments. Are there any items on the consent docket that the trustees would like to pull out for individual consideration? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent docket? Motion and a second, please vote. And it passes unanimously. No items on the concurrence docket. On the emergency construction contract docket, there is a large contract of $2.2 million for an emergency on the sanitary sewer line at the Chisholm Creek wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Browning, can you give us a high-level update on that?
Yes, sir. We found a large sinkhole at the Cimarron wastewater plant as the line enters the plant. It's a 33-inch line. It's about 30 feet deep. Turns out that that line separated and subsequently failed, causing the sinkhole. So we had to do an emergency contract. It was beyond our means to repair, so we had an emergency declared, and we have a contractor out there making repairs as we speak.
So what size pipe would that be?
33-inch.
33-inch, all right. Any questions regarding the emergency contract? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the emergency contract? A motion and a second. Please vote. That passes unanimously. 2 items for individual consideration. Item A is a joint resolution with the city authorizing general manager to approve security applications in lieu of retainage and the City of Oklahoma City Treasurer to take possession and secure securities endorsed or reassigned to the Oklahoma City Water Utilities designated as owner in the construction contract documents as authorized by Oklahoma law. And I understand this is a new Oklahoma law?
I'm going to let our attorney answer that question.
So this is an existing Oklahoma law. Is my speaker working? Okay. Yep. This is an existing, it has long since been an existing Oklahoma law. However, there are very few contractors. In fact, there's only one that I know of in history who has had the financial wherewithal to utilize this function, wherein they could put up CDs or other securities or bonds in lieu of having the city hold their retainage interest free. It is now at a point where CDs are paying sufficient money that they find it to be an advantage to take this administrative cost and request that they be able to get their retainage released, and in turn, they are securing our contract through other security methods, which include CDs and other securities. So this has been around for a while. Only Wind Construction, to my knowledge, has ever done it. And it really requires a larger project where the funds are being held for a longer period of time.
Or larger amounts of funds.
Or large amounts of funds.
And higher interest rates all factor into that. And so this outlines the procedures that we will follow for these. When we is this a specific application or procedures for applications?
These are procedures for applications so we can administratively more swiftly address the issue when the contractor brings them to our attention and makes a request.
All right. Are there questions regarding this? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Item B is a joint resolution with the City of Oklahoma City approving price adjustments to the regulated tariff rate contract with the federal government for provision of utility service, initial system deficiency corrections, and the recoverable portions of systems purchase price effective November 1 of 22 as provided in accord with FAR 52.241-7. And this is for the work we're doing at the Tinker Air Force Base.
Yes, sir. So this is the year 2 adjustment to the contract for services that we provide for the operation and maintenance of the wastewater system at Tinker Air Force Base.
Are there questions in regarding to that?
Yeah, what was the difference between these amounts and the original? Or is this the difference?
This is not the original. Brett, do you have any numbers on that?
So Vanessa Aguilar and her staff, the business manager, did a thorough review and work with Tinker Air Force Base. There were changes in the service level and the capital project plans that necessitated adjustments to the fees. And because of the contract form that we entered into with the government, we don't make a profit and we don't lose money on it. There's no subsidy from our ratepayers for this service. So we make these adjustments, and they have to go to an independent body for the fees to become effective. So they have to go to the trust, then they have to go to the council and be approved, just as if we were like a private utility and going to the Oklahoma Corporation Commission. That's the way the process works.
Do you know the difference?
Vanessa can answer that.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Trustees. Vanessa Aguilar. We do have a table in the second page of the agenda item. This outlines the original tariff amount that was proposed for contract year 2. And we had O&M changes to the contract that were proposed for a total of $810,000. We also had included adjustment to the initial system deficiency corrections, which were primarily capital project components, and that was driven by inflationary costs. That was an increase of $391,000, so a total of about $1.3 million to the adjustment from the original tariff for contract year 2 to the revised year 2 contract amount.
Awesome, thank you.
And these will go into effect November 1, Vanessa?
That's correct. November 1, 2022 is the beginning of contract year, and that takes us through October 31, 2023.
Oh, so this is mostly retroactive.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to approve item 6B? And it passes unanimously. Items from trustees this afternoon? I see none. Mr. General Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to share the lake level report with you all today. Hefner is still about a half a foot above full pool. Draper is approaching 4 feet below full pool. Canton is just right at full. Toka is full, and McGee Creek is 1.5 feet above full pool.
So Canton's come up
It has.
several feet.
It has. It was about 3.5 feet
Yeah.
down a month ago.
Yeah, that's really good news.
So it's 2/10 below full. So
That's excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
and that's all I have to report, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for Mr. Browning? Seeing none, I'm not aware of any citizens that are here to address the trust, so therefore, we are adjourned.